All right, this is me again on another video. Uh, Today, I am having some issues with the V-Sport, uh, and uh, the issue I'm having, I noticed it when I first got the vehicle, and uh, there is a coolant leak on the intercooler, and I noticed it when I first got the vehicle. I'm going to show you where the coolant leak is and maybe help you guys know what to do or what to look for if it happens to your V Sport or ATS-V. But I'm going to show you where the leak is. All right, so the leak is under the engine cover. I removed this bolt right here already. So I'm just gonna take this oil fill cap off and remove this. And the coolant leak is coming from this right here. This is where you fill the intercooler with coolant, and it is leaking. And this right here is like melted. Don't even know if I can get this off without destroying it. So there is the coolant right there inside of there. You might not be able to see too well. But let's see if we... Okay, I thought that it would have started leaking, like poured out. But as you can see down there, there's a coolant leak and it's just like dropping down. I don't think it's hitting the belt, but I believe it's but if it gets any worse, it probably will start leaking onto the belt, and I don't want to have to replace the belt right now if I don't have to. But let's see if I can fill up under here. I fill up under this fitting right here. You can see there's a coolant right here. Yeah, so there's coolant like right here on this swivel. There you go. So you can see it right there. All that is coolant. And so I believe that you're not able to replace just that fitting. And I think like this whole intercooler up here has to be replaced. But I will let you guys know if that is the case when I bring you back. I'm going to take the vehicle to the dealership, and I'll let you know how all of that turns out. Also, I am going to get some pre-maintenance work done. I'm going to have the coolant flushed and the brake fluid flushed as well. I think it's recommended that it's done at 45,000 miles, and right now I think there is 49,000 miles on it. So I'm also going to get that done as well. So I'll bring you back whenever I get some more info or whenever it's fixed. All right, I'm back. I just brought the V-Sport back home from the dealership, and I dropped the car off Monday. They called me this morning sometime. It's Friday now, and they got the V-Sport taken care of. So I had the brake system serviced and the coolant system serviced, as well as the intercooler leak. And so apparently the car is still under like factory warranty, I guess, for that particular issue. And it was free. So I didn't have to use the CarMax warranty, so I didn't have to pay any deductible. But what I did have to pay for was the brake system service and the coolant system service. And so I'll show the service record of what happened or what they did with it. All right, so here is the service record. So this right here is the brake system service. That's how much it cost, which isn't horrible, but I mean, it was still kind of expensive. It was $161. And this right here is the intercooler leak. And you guys can read that. But what they found was a coolant leak at the blow-off valve on the intake manifold. And so it says corrected by intake manifold replacement. So I guess it says installed in gasket, don't know what that means, and SLN fitting. I also don't know what that means, but I think I know what that is actually. Replaced manifold and rechecked all okay. So as you see, it says warranty, and that is the coolant flush right here. Includes up to 1 gallon of coolant and TerraClean, 2 parts coolant system cleaner and conditioner. I've never had this done to a vehicle, nor the brake fluid flush, but hopefully it helps the engine and the longevity of the cooling system parts. That was $106, which is much better than the brake fluid. So there's another page to this. So this says right here, coolant system service kit. That was $183. So it looks like that is a part of the coolant flush. So I guess it's 106. So this 106 is gonna go along with this right here. And they also washed the car for free, which is really cool. I think the last time the car was there, they washed it as well. And also something else that they did was pretty cool was, I've never seen this before, but they had this in the car, which is a cupcake. It is melted because I guess it was there all day, which is pretty cool. And I'll try it at some point. But yeah, so I'm gonna show you the engine and look around and see what they replaced. All right, hopefully you guys can see this. I got a new light, so hopefully this helps with the lighting in the garage. And I don't have to keep the door open and hear cars pass by, which you'll probably still hear it either way. But so I'm going to take this bolt off. All right, got the screw out, and I'll go ahead and get the engine cover off. All right, so it said that it replaced the intake manifold. I guess it was the gasket. So I I don't know exactly where that is. I don't know if it's down here or if it was this actual intercooler or if it was a gasket on it. But it said that it was leaking around the blow-off valve. So maybe it was over here. I'm not entirely sure. But one thing I can tell is that they did replace this fitting right here, and that was also leaking as well. So I don't know if it was more than one leak or not, but as you can tell, that is new, dry, and apparently they could replace just this one part here without replacing the whole intercooler. Some things that I read online was that the whole intercooler had to be replaced, and that this part was not sold separately, but apparently it was. And also that they told me that the part from the dealer was on back order, and they told me that they were able to find it somehow or another, and they overnighted it to them. So I give them kudos on that. So far they did pretty good, and I don't see any issues so far. As far as them refilling the intercooler with coolant, I mean, it looks like it's in there. I don't know if that's air or not. I won't really be able to tell until after the engine cools down, but I still may do use the tap out tuning intercooler fill contraption. I have that as well, which is I forgot how to use it, to be honest, because I only used it once, but I mean, it wasn't that hard before. But I guess I can go through the process with that as well, if I can see like an air bubble or anything in there. But I will bring you back if and when I decide that I need to do the intercooler fill procedure. So I'll bring you back then. All right, I am back on this video. It's been a while since I made the last part, and so today we're gonna finish up on the intercooler bleed and fill procedure. There isn't really a whole big procedure, or at least I don't remember what it is because I only done it once. But I'm gonna finish up with it today, and that'll be it on this video. I may not actually need to bleed the intercooler because the dealership did it, but we're just gonna go behind them and do it as well, and I can kind of show you how I do it. It may help somebody in the future, but the I'll show you the little kit that I got from Tap Out Tuning, and it's for the ATSV, the CTS-Vsport, and the CTS-Vsport. So I'll show you that little kit in a little bit. All right, here's the kit. So it's kind of already assembled from the last time I did it, but it doesn't come like pre-assembled like this. This little hose comes with it. I just left it on because I knew I was going to be able I was gonna be doing it again. And so that's the funnel. This is the stopper for it whenever you're like done with it, so it doesn't leak. This is the depressor for the fill valve, and this is some clear hose that it came with, and the actual switch. And I'll show you. We don't need the clear hose for it because it's already installed on the vehicle, but that's just the remainder of it. But we do need the switch, and we also need this relay right here. So the rest of the stuff that's in the box that was just already in there is this little band thing and some a business card and some stickers and more business cards. So the other thing we're gonna need is some coolant, 50/50, which that right there is already mixed. And me personally, the bungees right there are something else that you're going to need. It doesn't say you need it, but I'll explain why you need it in a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and get set up, and I'll show you how to install the switch and relay. All right, so I got you guys set up. I have the switch and the relay with this piggyback that goes with it. This doesn't come attached as well, but you slide it onto the fuse and have it sitting like that on the back of it. And I called this a relay earlier. This is not a relay. That's a fuse. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to install the fuse and set it all up. So what you want to do is pop these tabs up right here, I believe, or is it this side? It's this side. Okay, so it's this side. You pick up on this little part right here and just slide it off. All right, and what you want to look for is fuse 51, which that is right here. And fuse 51 says it's not fuse 51. It is fuse 53, I'm sorry. Fuse 53 is going to be cool pump 10 amp, and that's going to be this fuse right beside this relay. And I'll bring you closer to show you that fuse. So what fuse you need is this one right here, this 10 amp. And so you're just going to pull that out and replace it with this 10 amp fuse. So you're just gonna put this fuse to the side for a bit until we're finished with this procedure. So I'm going to grab something to pull that fuse, and I'll be back. Okay, I got the fuse pulled. That's where it was. This is the itty bitty fuse right here. These are some weird fuses, but I just used some needle noses to pull it out. And so what we are going to do is we're just going to replace it with this fuse provided by Tap Out Tuning, and we just push it in. All right, so that is in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and set you back up, and we're gonna finish the part for the switch. All right, so as for the switch, it's pretty simple. you have a ground and you have a power wire, and then you have the switch wire, and that is for to turn on and off this switch. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the ground from the vehicle, and it's held on by a 13 millimeter. So we're just going to take this little cap off. Alright, so you're going to put this wire onto the ground screw. There's a screw up under it, so after you take this cap off, it's just like a little weird cap that goes over it. So you're going to put this black wire on that screw, and then you're just going to screw this ground cap back over it. Alright, the next part is the power wire. Now the power wire goes over here, and you just flip this, press this little tab over here, and you gotta wiggle it out. It's kind of a tight squeeze. Alright, so the other two clips, there's a clip here, 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 and this one. So you push these two in, and these two you have to pull out on them, and you just slide it out. After you get that cap off, there's going to be a few screws here, or nuts I meant to say, and there are two with it says 100 and 100 on two of these screws. There's two right here, one up under the cover and one right here. You don't want these. There's another one right here that says 70 on it, and this is the nut that you want to take off to use for the power wire. So that is going to be at 8 mil. So now just slide this wire over this little screw that's left here, and screw this nut on top of it. Alright, and now all that is left is to slide this flag terminal connector on the flag terminal on this fuse, that little adapter piece. Alright, so now it's time to check to see if this works. And it does. So if you can hear, you hear the intercooler pump that pumps the coolant through the intercooler. And so now that that is working, I'm gonna reposition you, and we're gonna go ahead and get this engine cover off and give you a better view of the setup for the funnel and what I have to do to like keep it from doing what it's doing. The reason that we need the bungees. All right, so I'll bring you back in a bit. All right, so I got the engine cover off, and I still have to go get the funnel, but that won't take long. So we're gonna walk over and get that and these bungees. What I want to do is we're gonna open this little cap, and the repair must work because it's not leaking inside of here anymore. But what we're gonna do is stick this on here. Alright, so we just leave it like that. And what we're going to need the bungees for it. As you can see, this right here moves, swivels. And so what I did was, the last time I did it, I drilled some little, you might not be able to see it. So I drilled some little holes in it right here, in like 4 corners. And so that's what we need the bungees for. So I have some bungees from Harbor Freight, and that's what those little hooks go into. They go inside of these little holes that I drilled in the funnel, and I hang them off of the hood latch hanger. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll bring you back and show you this monstrosity that I have for a setup. All right, so this is the setup that I have. That's the bungees on top of that, and it still moves, but it looks like if it becomes heavy, it will get caught by the bungees. So we're just gonna test it out a little bit for that. And that clear hose that was in the kit, that's where it's supposed to go. Like I said, I already had some. You can't really tell. It's supposed to be a lot clearer than that, but I guess because of all of the heat cycles, it is colored. But you can tell that there is an air bubble in there, which is at the top right here. So let's see if we turn the pump on, we might be able to see it move. So yeah, you can see it move. So when you stop, it might fill back up on the bottom after some of the bubbles settle. But yeah, there is a lot of bubbles in there, as you can tell. So if I turn it back on, you'll probably see them move. And you can't see them move. Well, I don't know if it's full or not, but we're going to still go through this, and just to show you guys how to do it. All right, I have the coolant, I have the depressor and the stopper. We don't need the stopper right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it over here. So what we're going to do is we are going to fill this funnel up a bit. Hopefully it does not leak. It's not. I'm only gonna do a little bit because I don't know how full the system is. But this is what there's a little Schrader valve inside of here, and that's what this stick presses down on. So also these bleeders back here, there's one on both sides. We are going to possibly use those as well, and I do need to get something so they don't make a mess. Hang on a moment, and I'll go get something so it doesn't make a mess. All right, so I got something to clean up the coolant once we get to that part. So what we're gonna do is depress the coolant, the Schrader valve in this coolant. And so what you want to do is, so there are bubbles coming out of it, as you can hear. So it is probably empty, or at least close to it, because I didn't even turn the pump on. I'm gonna bring you a little bit closer. All right, so I'm gonna press it again and see if some more bubbles come out. only 2 bubbles came out that time. So we're gonna turn the pump on. Gonna do it for about 3 seconds. Turn it off. And let's press the Schrader valve down to see if more bubbles come out. All right, so that's all that came out. And let's try it again. Let's press it down. All right, and let's do it for a 3rd time. Let's try it again. And yeah, it's pretty empty. And I can tell the coolant is going down. So we may end up needing more coolant, I'm not sure. But I'm going to go ahead and do that a few more times. And I'll bring you back once we start opening the bleeder valves right here to see if we can get a steady stream of coolant out of those. It's 2 on both sides. All right, so I'm gonna continue this and I'll bring you back. All right, guys, I'm back. Changed a little bit. I got a jumper pack just so the battery wouldn't die. This right here, I filled this one other time. It got about to this level down here, and I filled it up to about here, and I moved back down to there again. So it was a little empty. It seems like it's mostly good now, but I'm still gonna go ahead and crack the bleeders just to see if I can get a little bit more air out of the system. But it's doing pretty good. It still looks like there's a bit of air still in there, but it doesn't look bad at all. So yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can get a little bit more air out before I crack the bleeders. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't really look like air is coming out, but it kind of looks like it's like full and the pressure is causing the coolant to come out, but it doesn't really look like air because it's just splashing up. And then again, I might not have enough coolant in here for the bubbles to show up. But from my understanding with this, you can do this all day and it's still gonna have bubbles come out. So I guess it's kind of a personal preference, you know, when you should quit doing it or not. But it really looks like there's not much bubbles coming back out. But we're gonna go ahead and crack the bleeders. I'm going to turn the pump on, and then back off. The bleeders use a 7 mil. So let's see, I'm gonna crack it, and I'm gonna press this at the same time. And I did get some air out of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this coolant back up, and I'll bring you closer to this. Well, I can't really bring you closer because I need 2 hands to do this. Maybe I'll just reposition you and see if we can get a better position on it. Hopefully you guys can see that. Probably not, but it's the best I can do. That looks like mostly straight coolant. So I'll go ahead and tighten that back up. But right here, doesn't really look like a whole lot of bubbles in there. It looks like it's mostly filled with coolant. Alright, so crack this bleeder open. See if we can get some air out of this one. And we did. We got a little bit of air. Not much. I'm gonna pause you guys for a little bit, and I'm gonna try to do it a little bit more off camera, just to try to get this last bit of bubbles out if there isn't any, or if it ever stops. Like I said, there's not a whole lot, and I'm about done with it. But I don't want to bore you guys to death with this, and I'll bring you back once I start getting done with this. All right, so we are going to call it quits right there. We'll go ahead and clean this stuff up, and I'll show you how to get rid of this without spilling it. That's what we're going to use this stopper for. Just move this out of the way. You take this out. And so all we're going to do with this is just push this in here. And that's gonna stop it, but this is gonna make a little bit of mess, so I do need one of these racks back. So we're just going to do this. I'm gonna try to slide it off. So that's the mess that it made. It's not bad considering how much it could be. So we're going to take these off. So the good thing about this is So just stick this in here and pull the stopper up. So now that's that. That's empty. Sit this to the side. And there is some coolant that I need to clean up. Right here, it's inside of this valve. So try to just turn this sideways and dump it out into this rag. That should be it. Yeah, it's pretty dry. All right, so that's the coolant that was lost right there. Don't think I spilled anything. Looks good. So we're just gonna put this cap back over on top and turn this sideways. And so this right here is the air bubble that is left. And if you've seen it before, almost all of this was like this color up here. So it was probably, I guess, halfway full. And now there's just that little air bubble. And I mean, I could do it again. You know, after I run the car well and come back and do it again, but I don't want to say I don't care too much, but I don't think that little bubble is going to give me 20 horsepower. So we're going to leave it like it is. And like I said, that's pretty good considering it was basically halfway white all the way up here. And so we need to deal with this stuff. We don't need this anymore. And that's a little jumper pack I got from Walmart. I can truly say that that is something that everybody should have in their car. The only thing about it, you have to make sure it's charged, which it holds a charge for a very long time. But like I said, I think that's something that everybody should have in their car. And maybe a set of jumper cables just for backup, just in case it wasn't charged. All right, so on the last clip, I made a mistake. I did not film an outro. I don't know what happened. I thought I did, but while I was editing, there wasn't one, and I couldn't find one. So I'm just gonna let this be an outro. It's actually probably a week later, but so everything went cool with the cleanup and the with the intercooler fill. Car's been running great. Can't really tell the difference, but at least I know that it's done the right way, and that the turbos are getting all of its cooling that it needs. But thank you for watching. I will see you on the next one. So thank you guys.